Good afternoon, everybody. I'm getting ready to do a reading for the next week, or should I say the next 7 days. I don't like to put a time frame on readings because it could be a reflection on longer than this. But shuffling my cards right now, and I'm going to ask the cards to just manifest as they're supposed to. I'm not going to really ask any questions. And we'll see what comes out. So I'm getting ready to paint a soul aura. I cannot share it because the person that I asked if I could share the painting said that they would rather me not. So I need to respect their privacy. And I'm up here in the studio, as we call it. It's a small bedroom, and I'm at my drafting table. But I want to make sure that I shuffle these cards really good so I don't get any repeat cards. You know, when I shuffle, they shuffle in lumps. Okay, so let me just cut the deck and pull. Okay, so this card is called Cardinal Energy. Cardinal energy in astrology is regarded as very dynamic. It's a moving forward energy. It's all about the solar plexus. It's all about activating movement in energy. So this card, on an individual basis, means that some of you have moved into a more inspired role in your life. You have received inspiration, you have received clear direction, you have received motivation, you have a strong focus, and it's almost like you can see clearly through to the other side. And that also, the yellow around this person here refers to the solar plexus. So the strength of cardinal energy is its motivation. But let me be clear. The contrast of that is moving too quickly. So taking time to sit with your ideas or to sit with your decisions is a good idea, and just allow whatever feelings to surface around these decisions. It could also mean making a lifestyle change, you know, selling your home, moving into another area or closer to family. Make sure that you take the time to sit with the decision before you actually do it, because that will give you some insight into whatever it is that you're feeling motivated or inspired to do. Now, the next color is green, and green is the color of healing. It's the color of being grounded. It's an earth color. It's when I say healing, it could mean that your move is going to be for the better, or your decision is going to be for the better, but make sure that you do this in a very grounded way, with your feet on the ground, not your head in the clouds. Okay? So I'm not squelching that. That inspiration should never be squelched. But what I'm saying is just take the time to be and sit with whatever it is you're deciding to move ahead and do. But this is a very passionate card. It could also have to do with a relationship. Maybe somebody got engaged. Maybe somebody's getting ready to get married. It's a very passionate relationship, and maybe there's cold feet involved. Just allow and sit. Don't make, whatever thoughts come to your mind, unless they're really critical, just let them pass in and out and look at them. But don't make any rash or hasty decisions. Now, on a global view, or our country, there is momentum building. And that momentum is building in a way that is going to continue to show itself. And it's not going to be universally accepted, so to speak. There's too much at stake in the haste of the building of this momentum. There are unseen situations that need to transpire. So I would have to say that things need to slow down a bit, because not everybody's going to be able to catch up at the same time. And so this momentum that's building does not feel, to me, as positive. It has a very fast-paced momentum, and therefore there are things that are being overlooked that's very important for our country and for the world at large. So that's where that stands. Okay, so let's flip the next card. So the next card has to do with light beings. This is, light beings are spirits. They are, they can be unidentified spirits. They can be fairies. They can be people that have passed on, angels, saints. This is what light beings are. And they come in all different forms. Now, some people will see a light being and it looks like an orb, or they'll see a spark. They've had their eyes tested and everything is great. But the fact that this card came up in what I would say the present moment section of the reading is because light beings are extremely intuitive. And if we want to be in touch with them, or we want to merge our energy with them, we need to spend more time in our heart space. We need to spend more time out of our minds, out of our analytical minds, and more time getting into our heart space and allowing it to rise upward. Light beings are very intuitive. They are very grounded beings. They're not ones that willy-nilly appear. They have a mission, and oftentimes they will appear when you are on your mission. So if you have something that you're planning on doing, just be aware and conscious that there are probably many, many light beings around you, aiding you, assisting you, and supporting you in your endeavors. And it can also mean that you are a light worker and that you are very, very intuitive. You like to spend a lot of time in nature. You like to spend a lot of time being quiet and meditating, because this is how you get your answers, and this is how you get grounded, and this is how you make good decisions. So our light beings, our spirits, saints, angels, fairies, need to be respected for who they are. Infinite intelligence, intelligence far beyond our own, because most of the time we are rushing around and we negate to connect with that. But if we do, we will receive the answers that we need on a daily basis, in appreciation of who we are in the moment in time. So let's see what we have for the third card. This card is the surrender card. Now, surrendering is not a cowardly act. Oftentimes we surrender to a situation because it has gotten out of control. And as human beings, we tend to like to control everything. We like to control people. We like to control situations. We like to control outcomes. And basically, the act of surrendering is a very courageous act. It's moving out of the control mode and into the allowing mode. Like, I'm going to let this go. I'm not going to think about it anymore. I'm just going to be present with whatever's happening, and I'm surrendering my thoughts for the greater good. Surrender is an inner knowing that the time has come for us to let go and let God. We know that God has better things planned for us if we simply relinquish the struggle. So basically what that means is to stop resisting what's happening. You know how when you find yourself in a situation and the first thing you want to do is fix it? That's normal. That's natural. But as time goes on, you realize that, there's not a whole lot of fixing that can be done right now. So you're going to let go, let God, let the universe handle the situation. You've surrendered it, and you know that all things are going to work out. All things are going to work out for me. Everything always works out for me when I align my heart and my mind with God, with the universe, with the universal energies that have my back. And so this color, not violet, it's like a lavender color. So this is a soft intuition here. This is more of a knowing without all of the fluff. Not having to really say anything to anybody, not really having to tell anybody anything, but just know that you're going to be taken care of. So whatever is coming down the pike globally, or whatever decisions that you are going to make, in cardinal energy, taking the time to breathe and to allow and not be hasty about it. Calling on all of the light beings that are there, willing and waiting to support you and help you. And then surrendering the control that you don't have, surrendering all the what ifs. Just let all that go and know that you are being supported. And on a global or even a countrywide level, it's probably prudent to think that way. So what you would want to do is to pull in. Instead of, going out that way and doing this and doing that, just pull in closer to your family, pull in closer to your friends, pull in closer to the heart space. And we don't have any control of what's going on out there. That's a given, not as individuals. If people will want to rise up and want to change laws and legislation, they can do so. But on a day-to-day basis, we can watch the news, but we really don't have any control over that. The only one that we have control over is ourselves, and how we conduct ourselves within our own niche, within our own family and social circles. So I'm going to pull a root card and we'll see what that brings about. Okay, so this is the Baptism by Fire card. Again, we have the lavender around, which is a very soft intuition. On this card, what this means, the Baptism by Fire, what this means is you have a lot going on. You have a lot of decisions to make. You have some uncomfortable things that have happened, but you don't want to tell anybody about them. You know intuitively how it's all going to work out. Perhaps you tried to talk and you didn't really find that it helped, and it didn't get you anywhere. So you're right in the fire right now. You're holding your own, you're believing, you're trusting, you're listening to your intuition, and then it morphs into the violet intuitive color, and then into the green of being grounded. So if you've made that choice to not really talk to anybody anymore about what's going on in your life or some of the challenges that you're having, that's probably a good thing, because the you, your physical you, and your inner you rising up to talk to those that are so much more powerful than any human being could ever plan to be, light beings, God, universal, infinite intelligence. This is going to bring you all the knowledge and the knowing and the understanding that you need to move forward. And I can't put a time limit on that, but it is going to happen. And if you look down here, see, we've got the fire burning, but out of the fire are little heart plants rising up. So this could be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 even. This could be a family of 6, 4 children and parents. It could be you have several different options and you don't know which way to choose. It could be that there's all this going on around you, all these the love beings around you, and your focus is on one individual that you love and care about. So that's really what I'm getting. But there are some of you where it feels like around every corner there's a raging fire. It's almost like it's following you. the thing with fire is that it cleanses us. It brings us back to the beginning. It, it burns down and then it gets rebuilt, which is interesting because sometimes we're in a situation where we have to allow it to fall before we can find that built up place again and start over. And it is better when we start over. But fire of any kind, when respected, is our best friend because it heats our homes and it helps us to cook. And you think about sitting around the fire, at night and watching the flames, or a candle. So there's two different kinds of fire. There's the fire of moving forward. There's passion. There's the fire that burns down, and so everything has to be built up. And then there's the fire that warms the hearth and home. So if you are struggling right now and you don't want to talk to anybody, make sure that you connect with the higher elements, the higher spirits, the higher intelligences, God, the universe, for support and direction. And just know that they are there and ready and willing to help you. So that's the reading I have for this week. I hope it resonates with everybody. I hope you have a wonderful week. And I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.